First dates can be tricky. Some men try too hard, coming across as overly nice or stiff, while others hold back too much, making the date feel distant and uninspiring. The result? A woman who feels no spark, no chemistry, just an awkward evening she'd rather forget. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't something you can force. You create it naturally by making her feel comfortable, engaged, and intrigued. And in this video, we're breaking down 3 key strategies that will instantly shift how women respond to you on a date. These aren't gimmicks or pickup lines. They're proven psychological principles that help you connect with a woman on a deeper level while allowing attraction to build effortlessly. You'll learn to be effortlessly charismatic, add a playful edge that keeps the conversation exciting, and embody the masculine energy that lets her feel feminine and drawn to you. And here's the best part. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do on a first date and understand why these strategies work so well. So stick around until the end for key takeaways that completely change how you approach dating. Let's dive in. 1. Be real and authentic. One of the men's most prominent mistakes when interacting with women is putting on an act. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that being overly polite, excessively friendly, or carefully crafting every word will impress her. But in reality, women can sense when a man isn't being genuine, and the moment she picks up on that, a wall goes up. Instead of building chemistry, the interaction feels forced and artificial, making her hesitant to open up or invest emotionally. A common pitfall many men fall into is treating dates like job interviews, asking structured, overly serious questions that make the interaction feel stiff and mechanical. A man might sit across from a woman, carefully considering each word before speaking, ensuring he presents himself as the perfect gentleman. He might suppress his natural sense of humor, afraid that being too playful will make him look immature. But what happens instead is that the conversation loses its spark. There's no natural flow, playfulness, or honest connection. Just a polite exchange of words that feels more like an obligation than an exciting interaction. Authenticity matters because it removes barriers. When a woman senses that a man is performing an act, even if it's well-intentioned, she subconsciously mirrors his energy. Instead of letting her guard down and being herself, she filters what she says and how she acts. What could have been a fun, engaging conversation turns into a formal interaction where both people are too cautious to let their real personalities shine. This is why some dates feel boring or awkward. Both people play a role instead of truly being present. Think about the last time you had a great conversation with someone. It probably wasn't because they gave the perfect answers or tried to impress you. It was likely because you both felt at ease, the words flowed naturally, and there was a sense of connection. This creates chemistry between two people, not a calculated effort to appear interesting, but a genuine exchange of thoughts, emotions, and laughter. On the other hand, when a man is relaxed and unafraid to show his true personality, it invites the woman to do the same. A natural, engaging conversation isn't about impressing someone, it's about sharing an experience. Think about how you talk with your close friends. You're not second-guessing every sentence. You're not carefully calibrating your responses to make sure they sound perfect. You're just talking, sharing thoughts, and enjoying the moment. This effortless flow is what creates real chemistry, and it's something that can't be forced. A man who understands this doesn't feel the need to prove himself or seek approval. He doesn't walk into a date trying to be the perfect guy. He simply shows up as himself, confident in who he is. Instead of filtering his humor or suppressing his natural mannerisms, he allows them to be part of the interaction. This is where attraction truly begins, not in perfectly worded statements, but in the ability to create an emotional connection where both people feel free to be themselves. Women aren't just looking for a list of impressive qualities or logical reasons to like a man. They're looking for an emotional connection, a sense of ease and excitement that makes them want to spend more time with him. When a man lets go of the need to perform and simply enjoys the moment, he becomes infinitely more attractive. A date should never feel like a presentation. It should feel like a shared experience that unfolds naturally, full of laughter, curiosity, and effortless connection. One of the best ways to ensure authenticity is to focus on how you feel in the interaction, rather than how she perceives you. Are you having fun? Are you genuinely interested in what she's saying? Are you expressing yourself without overthinking? These are the questions that matter. You're missing the moment entirely if you're constantly in your head trying to control how she views you. But if you're engaged in the conversation, enjoying the back and forth exchange, she will feel that energy and respond positively. Another key element of authenticity is emotional honesty. Too many men think that showing their honest thoughts or feelings makes them vulnerable in a way that will turn women off. But the opposite is true. Women are drawn to men who are comfortable in their skin, who aren't afraid to express opinions, share their excitement about something, or even playfully challenge them in conversation. This authenticity shows confidence because it signals that a man isn't dependent on approval. He's simply being himself, and that's inherently attractive. It's also important to recognize that authenticity doesn't mean carelessness. Being authentic doesn't permit you to be rude, arrogant, or dismissive. It means having the self-assurance to be yourself while being socially aware and respectful. Confidence without arrogance is a rare and magnetic quality. It tells a woman that you are secure in who you are, but capable of understanding and valuing her perspective. The next time you're with a woman, stop overthinking. Stop trying to craft the perfect impression carefully. Instead, focus on being present. Speak the way you naturally would. Express your thoughts without filtering them for approval. Treat the interaction like you would with someone you're already comfortable with. The paradox of attraction is that the less you try to impress, the more impressive you become. Absolute confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from the ability to be unapologetically yourself. 2. Playfully challenge her. Many men believe that the safest way to win a woman's affection is by being excessively lovely, always agreeing with her and avoiding any form of teasing or challenge. Others make the mistake of being too serious, relying solely on logical conversation and factual exchanges, which, while informative, rarely generate the emotional spark that makes an interaction exciting. The problem with both approaches is that they create predictable, unmemorable conversations that lack the playfulness and tension needed for real attraction. Women are drawn to men who engage them on a deeper emotional level, and one of the best ways to do this is by playfully challenging them in conversation. A confident and socially aware man doesn't just go along with everything a woman says. Instead, he introduces a bit of playful friction into the interaction. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive, but injecting light-hearted teasing that keeps the conversation dynamic and flirtatious. When done correctly, it shows that he has standards, a sense of humor, and isn't afraid to be himself. More importantly, it signals that he sees her as someone he can have fun with, rather than someone he needs to impress at all costs. For example, if a woman says she's a secretary and the man simply responds with, "Oh, that's nice," the conversation quickly stalls because there's nothing emotionally engaging about that answer. But if he playfully says, "Oh, perfect," If we start dating, I'll forward all my calls to you. He subtly teases her, implying a fun, future dynamic. This kind of banter makes her smile, challenges her in a non-threatening way, and invites her to play along. Similarly, if she says she's a dietitian and he responds with, "So I guess we're canceling that donut date, huh?" It adds an element of humor and spontaneity to the interaction. Rather than simply agreeing and moving on, he creates a shared moment that allows her to react, engage, and feel a genuine emotional connection. Women are highly responsive to men who can make them feel something: excitement, curiosity, or even playful annoyance, because those emotions create chemistry and intrigue. Playful challenging effectively signals confidence, emotional independence, and social intelligence. A man who teases a woman in a fun way isn't desperate for approval. He's comfortable enough in himself to push the interaction in an engaging direction. It also helps break the initial tension of a conversation, making it feel more natural rather than forced or overly formal. When done right, it creates the kind of back-and-forth dynamic that transitions a conversation from polite small talk to something more flirtatious and memorable. Beyond that, this teasing subtly establishes a romantic frame rather than a platonic one. Many men struggle with moving past the nice guy or friendly impression because they fail to introduce an element of playful challenge early on. Without that emotional push and pull, a conversation can easily drift into the territory of being too neutral or predictable, reducing the chances of developing real attraction. Women want to feel that spark, the tension that makes them curious about a man and eager to see where the conversation will go next. Of course, there's a fine line between playful teasing and being overly sarcastic or dismissive. The key is to keep the energy light, read her reactions, and ensure the teasing is fun rather than mean-spirited. The goal is to create an environment where both people feel engaged and entertained, not where one person feels the need to defend themselves or prove something. To understand why this works so well, consider the psychology behind attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who make them feel various emotions. Unlike men, who often base attraction on visual cues, women are more likely to be drawn to a man's personality, presence, and ability to stir their emotions positively. When a man playfully challenges a woman, he shows that he isn't intimidated by her, values fun and spontaneity, and can hold his own in an interaction. All of these traits make him appear more attractive and interesting. Think of it like a dance. If one partner is too stiff and follows every step perfectly without adding personal flair, the dance feels robotic and uninspired. But if the partner adds a little unexpected movement, a twirl or a playful spin, it suddenly feels alive and exciting. Conversations work the same way. If a man is too predictable or safe, the interaction becomes dull. But if he can introduce just the right amount of playful unpredictability, he creates an engaging, memorable experience that makes a woman want to continue talking to him. In practice, playful teasing should feel natural rather than forced. It's not about memorizing lines or trying to be witty all the time. It's about having fun in the moment and allowing humor to flow organically. A confident man doesn't second-guess himself or overthink every word. He trusts that his playful energy will naturally steer the conversation in the right direction. One key mistake men often make is thinking they must impress a woman with grand gestures, wealth, or extreme confidence. In reality, attraction is built in the little moments, the subtle exchanges that create tension and excitement. A woman is far more likely to be drawn to a man who makes her laugh, keeps her on her toes, and makes the interaction feel effortless rather than forced. This approach also eliminates the need for a man to win a woman over or prove his worth. Instead of seeking approval, he flips the dynamic. He creates an interaction that is so fun, engaging, and unpredictable that she naturally becomes invested. She wants to keep talking and see where things go. And most importantly, she starts to view him as someone worth pursuing. Ultimately, the art of playful challenging isn't about manipulating or tricking a woman into liking you. It's about fostering genuine connection through humor, confidence, and emotional engagement. Women don't just want a man who agrees with everything they say. They want a man who can challenge them in a fun, flirtatious, and stimulating way. A man who masters this skill instantly stands out in a world where most men either play it too safe or try too hard to impress. By understanding the psychology behind attraction and embracing a playful, teasing approach, he creates the kind of interaction that leaves a lasting impression. When a woman feels entertained, emotionally engaged, and slightly challenged, she's far more likely to feel a deep attraction, turning an ordinary conversation into something unforgettable. 3. Let her be feminine. In any relationship, women naturally yearn to feel feminine, but this desire cannot be fully realized if their partner is not embracing his masculinity. The delicate balance between the masculine and feminine energies fuels attraction and connection in a relationship. If this balance is disrupted, it can lead to a situation where both partners feel unfulfilled, confused, or even disconnected. When a man confidently steps into his role as the masculine force in the relationship, it allows his partner to relax into her femininity fully. This dynamic doesn't require domineering behavior, but rather a strong sense of self and an ability to lead in a way that empowers and supports her. Understanding why women need this balance is key. The first mistake many men make is to treat their partner as an equal in dominance. While equality is essential in a relationship, one must understand that men and women bring different energies. If both partners are vying for control, it creates an emotionally neutral environment. In this dynamic, the woman may feel like a friend or buddy rather than a romantic partner. This is often not what women are looking for. They want to feel desired, cherished, and appreciated, which is challenging when they're always in charge of steering the relationship. On the other hand, some men may lean too far in the opposite direction and give their partner too much control. They may become overly accommodating, giving in to her every request in the hopes that it will make her like them more. This approach, however, can be just as damaging. Women are not looking for a man who is constantly deferring to them or letting them take charge of every aspect of the relationship. This imbalance can cause the woman to feel burdened or overwhelmed by the responsibility. It can also make her feel like she is the one wearing the pants in the relationship, ultimately leading to a loss of attraction. Women, like men, crave balance, and if they find themselves in a relationship where they feel like they have to carry the weight, their interest will begin to fade. There's also a third type of man who may fail to embody masculinity effectively. One who is passive, nervous, or overly hesitant. This type of man struggles to take charge of situations and often defers to his partner for guidance. While usually well-meaning, this behavior signals weakness and insecurity, which is rarely attractive. Women are drawn to men who are confident, assertive, and capable of making decisions without second-guessing themselves. When a man is too passive or avoids making decisions, it signals to the woman that he is not leading the relationship, which can cause her to lose interest and emotional connection. To indeed allow a woman to embrace her femininity, a man must learn how to be dominant respectfully and confidently, This means not controlling her, but instead leading with strength and assurance. Women want a man capable of setting the tone for the relationship and creating a space where they can relax and step into their natural feminine energy. They do not want to feel like they are in charge of making all the decisions or taking the lead all the time. Instead, they want their partner to take the initiative and guide the relationship with clarity and direction. A man who can lead without being overbearing or controlling confidently is beautiful to women. When a man makes decisions, takes responsibility, and isn't afraid to take the reins when necessary, it makes a woman feel safe and supported. This dynamic allows her to express her femininity freely without feeling like she must steer the ship constantly. She can rest in her energy, trusting that her partner has the strength and vision to guide them through life's challenges. However, the signs are apparent when a man fails to assert himself this way. If he is always deferring to her, saying things like, "Whatever you want to do is fine," or avoids taking charge of decisions, it creates an imbalance in the relationship. While sometimes well-intentioned, these actions convey a lack of confidence and leadership, which diminishes attractive. Women do not find this attractive. Instead of feeling cherished and supported, they feel burdened by the constant need to make decisions and take control. This dynamic leaves them feeling emotionally drained and disconnected from their partner. In contrast, when a confident man takes the lead, he naturally draws her in. Instead of begging for approval or chasing after her, he allows her to come to him alone. Suppose she seems distant or neutral rather than pursuing her or attempting to win her affection. In that case, he may playfully call it out or take charge of the situation naturally and unforcedly. This confident behavior re-establishes the attraction and allows her to soften and feel more comfortable being vulnerable. She feels secure knowing that her partner can handle the emotional and practical weight of the relationship, while still allowing her to express herself fully. Take, for example, the ideal scenario in which a man confidently leads a woman through a challenging situation. He doesn't ask for permission, doesn't hesitate, and doesn't second-guess his decisions. He simply takes charge and steers the situation with calmness and clarity. This is a man who embodies his masculinity in a way that is both powerful and reassuring. The woman in turn feels safe, supported, and free to express herself fully. This dynamic creates a space where both partners thrive, he in his masculinity and she in her femininity. With this dynamic, a woman can feel safe enough to be vulnerable and nurturing in relationships. She doesn't have to worry about making decisions or taking charge because her partner is confident enough to lead. This doesn't mean he controls everything, but it does mean that he provides a sense of direction and security. Women crave this balance, where they can be strong when necessary, but soften into their feminine energy when their partner leads them. Ultimately, the most successful relationships are those where both partners understand the importance of balance. The man confidently embodies his masculinity, and the woman can relax into her femininity. When a man steps into his role as the masculine force in the relationship, he attracts his partner and creates a space where both individuals can feel secure, valued, and loved. This creates a deeper connection, allowing both partners to experience the full spectrum of their emotional and relational potential. Interaction is something that can't be forced. It's a natural process that requires the right balance of confidence, authenticity, and chemistry. Unfortunately, many men unknowingly sabotage their chances on a first date by trying too hard to impress or being overly cautious. They might try to be too friendly or severe, making the interaction stiff and unnatural. The key to a successful first date isn't about trying to perfect every detail or crafting the perfect persona. It's about being honest, being yourself, and creating an environment where you can connect comfortably and naturally. One of the most prominent mistakes men make is putting on an act. Women can sense when a man is trying to be something he's not, and it creates a barrier instead of the spark that fosters attraction. Being authentic is one of the most essential elements in building a connection. When you're genuinely yourself, relaxed and playful, it opens the door for a natural and meaningful conversation. Women enjoy emotional connections, not just surface-level facts. It's essential to drop the act, stop worrying about impressing her, and approach the date like you would with someone you're comfortable with. By being true to who you are, you allow both of you to relax and enjoy the conversation, which builds trust and sets the foundation for a genuine connection. Another essential aspect is the energy you bring into the interaction. Many men make the mistake of agreeing with everything or being too serious, leading to a conversation lacking excitement and emotional engagement. This is where playful challenging comes into play. Confident, socially aware men know how to add a playful edge to their interactions. Playful teasing isn't about being rude or hurtful. It's about creating a light-hearted atmosphere where both people can feel comfortable enough to laugh, banter, and engage emotionally. Women appreciate a man who isn't afraid to challenge them in a fun and flirty way. It shows that you have standards and are confident enough to introduce playful tension into the conversation. This builds attraction and makes the interaction feel more dynamic and exciting. Instead of simply agreeing with everything she says or treating her like a friend, you want to engage her in a way that keeps things lively, showing that you're emotionally independent and confident in your own identity. Then there's the idea of letting her embrace her femininity. Women naturally want to feel feminine in a relationship, but they can't do that if the man is being passive or neutral. If the dynamic feels like a buddy friendship, or she feels like she has to take the lead in everything, attraction starts to fade. Women want to feel relaxed enough to express their femininity, but need a man to set the tone and confidently lead the interaction. This doesn't mean being controlling. It means being confident enough to make decisions and take charge when necessary. By doing this, you allow her to let go of any pressure and truly embrace her more feminine side. A confident man doesn't shy away from responsibility or decision-making. He steps up and guides the interaction in a way that makes her feel safe, secure, and able to express her true self. The bottom line is that attraction is about energy, confidence, and emotional connection. Attraction happens naturally when you stop overthinking things and focus on being present, comfortable, and engaging. Women are drawn to men who make them feel something real, not men who constantly try to impress them. It's not about perfection, it's about creating an environment where both people can relax, enjoy each other's company, and connect on a deeper level. The key to sparking attraction is being genuine, adding playful excitement to the interaction, and confidently leading the conversation. When you get this balance right, you'll find that attraction flows naturally, and the potential for a deeper connection opens up. Have you noticed how different behaviors impact attraction in your own experiences? What has worked for you on first dates? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights and tips on relationships and attraction.